Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Sports Card Show, and today I'm going to go over my favorite tips and tricks to not lose money in the sports card hobby. This has been on a lot of people's minds as we've been seeing a declining market over the past year, and a lot of people are really concerned about what's been happening in the market. But I'm here to tell you that it's going to be okay and that you can still make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. So here are my top tips and tricks to not lose money in the sports card market. Tip number one, pick the right player. This is crucial, right? A lot of mistakes that people make is not realizing that a player is a small market versus a big market team. You want to focus on players that are going to get a lot of media coverage. So Jalen Hurts, for instance, right? He was not, like, people knew about him. He was one of the top quarterback picks in the 2020 draft. However, he doesn't get nearly the media attention that someone like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen would get, and even Justin Herbert. And even though the Eagles are playing really well this season, and actually not doing so well at the end of the season, but for most of the season playing extremely well and still the number one seed in the NFC, Herbert still sells probably for 2 or 3x what a Jalen Hurts card sells for. And that's not as bad as the beginning of the season when it was about 5x on most cards, but still, it's crazy that the freaking Chargers, who are still having a chance here at the playoffs, but not playing nearly as well, very unlikely comparatively to sell to make that jump to the Super Bowl. To keep in mind, so like Justin Herbert, Mahomes, Allen, those are guys the hobby loves, and really not like, unless they absolutely just fall off the face of the planet and they absolutely suck for an entire season, they can still have a losing record and they still probably command a very high dollar value. It really just depends on the market and how much media attention they get. And that also brings me kind of to my next point, right? Figure out when the right time to sell is. Okay, one of the biggest strategies that I have for making money in the sports card hobby is to grade cards, right? So for my Jalen Hurts card, I cracked that from a DSG 10 and crossed over to a PSA 10. Now I've held it and I'm just selling it now. However, I probably still could have made more money if I sold it a couple months ago, even when they were only like 6 or 7 weeks in the season, just because the Eagles were undefeated. The hype, that's what the most important thing is. Sell on the hype. Don't sell on the stats, sell on the hype, because the hype is always going to be better than what the player actually performs at, right? So a lot of people are like, why would you sell your Jalen Hurts card now? It's like he's been injured and the Eagles are not looking too great, but you want to wait for them to get to the playoffs, right? No, definitely sell now. You could risk it, but it's unlikely that the cards are going to go up enough value, even if they win the Super Bowl, to make it worth it and to take on that risk. So just being careful with how much risk you're taking on, right? I was up a ton on that card regardless, so just take your profits, move on to the next card. Waiting, you're going to see the majority of your profits when you grade the card in the first place, and unless it's like you think it's going to be a long-term play, if they've already seen that success in the time that you've graded it, just sell it. Unless you think they're going to do drastically better, take your profits, roll it over to the next card. You're going to do way better in the long run. So those are really my two top ones. So to recap here, basically you want to choose the right player, figure out, like who's in a small market, who's in a big market, who has the opportunity to get a lot of media coverage that isn't getting media coverage right now, and who's going to have a good season. That's what you want to look for. Make sure that you're buying the right card. This can be very tricky, so this I haven't covered, but make sure you're choosing stuff that's good sets. So like Optic, right? Immaculate, right? Prism. These are all great sets that you want to collect, those higher end sets. I would stay away from lower end sets unless you want to collect them for your PC. Not going to be a great bet. You want to stick with those higher end sets. You're going to see the best return on your dollar, at least if you're looking at this from a pure investor perspective. Also stay away from college stuff. That is very difficult to sell in my opinion. People really want stuff in the NFL uniforms. So that would be my other advice there, but I think pretty much most people know that. So just make sure that you're taking profits. Don't hold stuff long term. That's probably the biggest thing. Make sure you're choosing right players. Don't buy someone that's too overhyped. So if someone's doing super well, like Luka right now, I really would love to buy some Luka cards. However, he's doing so well that it's very unlikely that he's going to maintain that success, and his cards are going to keep going up in value. So it's unless you can find a good card to grade, which almost all of the stuff that you would want to grade is already graded, and very difficult to find raw, good condition Luka cards. So that's kind of a difficult scenario. Would love to buy Luka, but probably not the best idea to buy him right now. Right now is also probably a very difficult time to buy quarterbacks or any other football players, since we're kind of reaching the playoffs. So unless you want to take a playoff gamble here and you think maybe like Brock Purdy, for instance, the 49ers, he's going to go to the Super Bowl somehow, I don't know, but that's very also an opportunity. Just be careful. Don't stretch yourself out too far financially. Make good decisions. So basically, to recap, make sure you're choosing the right player, you're choosing the right set, you're making sure to grade stuff and to sell and take your profits. Those are definitely the best tips and tricks. If you're making a profit, you're doing good. And if you're making a lot of profit, you're doing great. So keep in mind, take that profit. Unlikely that short-term holds, unless you're holding for a very long time, you have to understand that holds don't often work out in your favor. You're not going to see those returns. If you're looking for real money on cash return, just take short-term profits. Don't hold stuff long-term, because you're going to see maybe, like, at the best, right, you might hold a card, it might go up 50% in value. Whereas you can flip a card and you can make freaking 10, 20x your money and like a fraction of the time. So that would be my advice. Thank you guys so much for watching. As far as personal updates go, I am going back to school for a week, starting Monday of next week, and then I'm coming back for the 3-day weekend. I'm going to the Mavs game, so maybe I'll do a little vlog there. But trying to trade this Zion here, my Brady Hollow, and this Brady, since these are the last cards that I have on hand, as well as I have this PC card here that I've shown off a couple times, the Gronk Brady dual patch. So I estimate hopefully around $1,000 of value here. That's basically all the cards that I have on hand. Would love to trade into some other stuff. I mean, we could do a combined deal. I mean, this I got from one of my Jalen Hurts cards that I only paid like $350 for. So, and this alone is probably worth about $300. And this Brady is super sick out of 15, even though it's only a PSA 9. So hopefully we can do something here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer anything in the comments below. I'm probably going to post some more videos before I go back to school. Definitely just posting what's been on my mind and ideas I have in my head. So please, if you have any video ideas, drop them down in the comments below. I won't ask you guys to subscribe. You can subscribe if you want to. It's always appreciated, but I'm just here to post the content that I love and share my ideas with everyone. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the Sports Card Show.